Hi, welcome to another tale from the Magic Story Cauldron. This one, a really delightful story from Hungary about the old woman who outwitted death. Once, long ago, whether or not it's true, I can't say for sure, but there was an old woman. She was older than the gardener who planted the first tree. Yet she was full of life, full of wisdom, and never dreamt that death might someday pass her way. She washed her clothes and scrubbed her cottage. She cooked her meals and baked her breads. She planted her garden and tended her flowers. She was kind to strangers and was loved by her neighbours. She was busy with life and loving it. One day, Death remembered the old woman and came knocking on her door. When she saw who he was, she told him she couldn't possibly leave that day. She'd just started her laundry and she needed to rinse the clothes, hang them on the line, and then iron them when they're dry. No, but she might be ready by the next morning if Death would be so kind as to return then. Well, since Death had forgotten about her for so long, he thought it only fair to give her another day to get her life in order. You can expect me at the same time tomorrow. And he walked out of her garden. As he went, he took some chalk from his pocket and wrote the word tomorrow on the gatepost. The next day he returned and told her that she must come along now, that he didn't have all day. The old woman smiled sweetly and said, "But my dear Death, you must be mistaken. This is not the day you were to come. Just look and see what you wrote on my gatepost. That's when you're to come for me." Death went and looked at the gatepost, and sure enough, there was a word in his own handwriting, tomorrow. "There," said the old woman, "you must come for me tomorrow." So Death went away and returned the next day. The old woman was standing by the door waiting. "Oh, Death, don't you remember what you wrote on the gatepost? You aren't coming for me today, but tomorrow." And so it went on for an entire month. Death was not really all that bright, but finally he'd had enough of this game. "Old woman, you've been cheating me. Tomorrow is your last day. And I will come for you then." As he walked out of her garden, he rubbed the word tomorrow off the gatepost. The old woman stopped smiling. She thought long and hard of a way to stop Death from taking her, but she'd run out of ideas. That night she tossed and turned, couldn't sleep at all. In the morning, the old woman decided she would hide in the honey barrel that she kept in the corner of her kitchen. She eased herself down into the thick, rich, golden-coloured honey, leaving only her nose and eyes above the rim to watch for Death. But then she realised, of course, Death would look for her, and this might be the very first place he would try. So she climbed out of the honey barrel and quickly hid in a chest full of goose feathers that she had been saving to make a nice comforter. But just as she settled herself in the feathers, she wondered if Death might not open the chest. So she slowly climbed out and began to walk across the room to the stairs that led to the attic. It was just at that moment that Death walked in. He glanced around, but didn't see the old woman anywhere. Instead, he spied this strange-looking creature, all covered with white feathers and something thick and slimy and golden that seemed to ooze from it. It wasn't a bird, and it wasn't a person. It was a horrible sight. Death was so terrified that he turned and ran from the old woman's cottage, never to return. The old woman cleaned herself up and once more got busy with life. So, the Hungarian story of the old woman who outwitted death. Pretty neat, hey? See you again soon for another tale from the Magic Story Cauldron. Bye for now.